Refreshing. I've got the YouTube page up. I've got the YouTube thing up anyway.
Here we are. Hello and welcome to the first instalment of Walk and Talk MMH. Under lockdown, we've got Deacon, Arsenal fan. We're going to be joined by a few other people. We're having a little bit of difficulty with people coming in and arranging their personal situations. Obviously, they're just going to have to roll with it the way we are. But Deacon, how are you, mate?
I'm good, considering circumstances right now. The whole world is having to sort of pitch in and deal with this together. A very weird time. It's been nearly a full... No, it's been a full month. Yeah. Tomorrow, since I last watched the Arsenal kick a ball about, playing West Ham.
You're missing it?
It's weird. Like, I'm missing it a lot, but I'm enjoying not getting upset once a week. I'm like,
being a Fulham fan.
I don't have to worry about my weekends being fucked up and all that sort of stuff. What's great? There's a film with Colin Firth in it. I love Colin Firth. It's called Fever Pitch, and it's set in 1989, the season when Arsenal beat Liverpool 2-0 in the final game. They have to win 2-0 on. If it was 1-0, Liverpool win it, but because of the 2-0, Arsenal win the league on the last game of the season. And it's a film, it's a book based on it, and they make it into a film. And he says it as well. He says, like, every weekend he gets upset, and then that's his mood for the rest of the week. So his life is really completely controlled. Oh, it's a brilliant film, completely controlled around football, and everything's based on seasons. It's a great film, very funny film. So if you're a football, I know it's about Arsenal, but if you're a football fan, you'll enjoy it if you haven't seen it already. So.
Yeah, just to reply to Simon there. Yeah, the boys are all right, mate. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me, mate. Everybody's doing well this side. It is challenging times we're facing at the moment. Like Deacon said, it is missing football, missing everything. But I think on the grand scheme of things, I think we can put football to bed for a bit. I think we've got more worrying things to worry about, loved ones, so forth. Today I had my first funeral over the internet. It was the most surreal thing I've ever been involved in. It was quite upsetting not to be there with family. There's only 3 members of the family allowed to go. It just wasn't nice. It was just, I think we're going to see a lot more of this, and in the coming weeks and months, what do we do? But, we have to put a spin on things and keep things a little bit hyper and a little bit happy. That's why I've organised this to talk about what we do, why we do it. And Deacon, you've been on a couple of walks. Do you want to explain? Hello, Ed. First of all, I just want to say hello, Ed.
What's going on, Ed?
Hope you're well, mate. I need to call you soon, so expect a call from me, pal. But yes, like I was saying, Deacon, explain to me why you got involved in Walk and Talk, what you achieved out of it, and what you gained out of it, and why you thought you would do it.
So the walk that I did, it was last year. It was Palace at home. Oh, sorry, away from home. I say at home because the Emirates is my home. But it was Palace away from home at the Emirates. So I was walking from Selhurst over that absolute mammoth of a hill that I never realised existed because I never go that far south.
Don't tell Dan about hills.
Yeah, exactly. And then heading over through central London, over the Wobbly Bridge, past St. Paul's, where I unfortunately had to end my journey there because I had some plans in the afternoon. Because I didn't know what to expect. I stumbled across Walk and Talk on Twitter. I'm a massive advocate for mental health, especially men's mental health and everything like that. And the fact that you're partnering football, which is a massive, obviously, passion for all of us. A lot of people treat it as every day it's a religion. It's what gets you up in the mornings for some people. As I said, I was joking around a couple of minutes ago that depending on the Arsenal result depends on how I'm going to be feeling that week, never mind that day.
It's very common with a lot of fans, isn't it? It's very common with a lot of fans. You see your team get beat. It just puts
it completely sets a mood. I get very frustrated when I see, the players walking off the pitch and not going to, apologise to the travelling fans, or even if it isn't at the Emirates, just apologising and just doing a lap or whatever. Because people take this very seriously, including me to a certain degree. I try very hard to sort of distance myself from something that I get very personal with. So anyway, I saw it on Twitter. I was like, oh, do you know what? I'll check this out. I've never heard of anything like this before. It's definitely right up my street. And I wanted to just do it on my own. I.e., I didn't want to just, call up one of my mates who would be interested in it themselves and go, oh, do you fancy coming to do this walk thing with me? I wanted to do it all on my own and experience it and just jump in head first sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I turned up completely not knowing what to expect at all. A little bit of a talk at the start of it, and then we kind of got going. I remember the first picture, there's me just chewing on a banana. It's never good when you're caught in public eating a banana, especially, gathered around a group of lads. And because obviously you're walking together in football shirts, we spoke about it before, some police and people, they get very confused, and some people get, sometimes, unfortunately, because of stigmas, intimidation due to hooliganism and everything like that, even though that's not really a thing anymore. Hollywood obviously glamorized it with all the films called Street Elite and all that rubbish. It's not like that. We were just getting together and just doing something which was absolutely incredible. So I enjoyed the camaraderie, just getting together, meeting new people. Bonuses of obviously actually talking. There was a few moments when I was walking past and there was actually people, genuine guys, talking to random people and talking about quite intimate things. And that's nothing to do with me. That's in between them. And that, but I just found it amazing to hear that they were willing, after only like an hour or two, to actually open up.
I think
the idea was fantastic.
I think it really hit home with a lad called John, who was on the walk from Chesterfield to Notts County. Within 2 minutes, he opened up and started explaining everything about him. It was really, his story was unbelievable. It stayed with me. Nice guy. Really got to know him really well on the overnight walk. And the idea of it is just you put in a place, in a situation where you're comfortable, where you're relaxed, where you can bounce back onto football. We are all football fans, be it you an Arsenal fan, me a Fulham fan, Johnny, who's coming into the chat at some point, Reading, Dan coming into the chat, he's Reading, and Aaron, who's Celtic. Wide range of supporters of everything, but I think we all hold one thing between ourselves, is the fact that we all believe that this can make a difference. And I enjoy talking to random people like yourself. I've been out for a drink with you since the walk, and we caught up, and it was nice. I make friends, and this is what we're starting to learn with this coronavirus, the fact that the community are coming out and having a community. I'm not too sure about you, Deacon, where you live, but where I lived in Pimlico, it was very much a community. It was everybody looked out for each other. And obviously, as years have gone by, that's deteriorated. And we've kind of just isolation. Everybody just seems to live on their own and not really bother about anybody, their next door neighbor and so forth. But now you're seeing this. I know the coronavirus is a very bad thing and people are dying, but on the whole, I think it can only get better in the sense that it brings communities together. And this is what it's about, bringing football communities together, people coming into the conversation that, we've got Johnny, add to stream. I'm going to add Johnny to the stream. Hello, Johnny.
On the fly.
Hey, folks, how are we?
How are you, mate? You good?
Good, mate. Yeah, sorry, a bit delayed there due to an 11-week-old baby. I do apologize.
How is she? Is she okay?
Good, mate. Yeah, she's all good. She's thriving.
Good, man.
Nervous about all the stuff that's going on with all the
we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Deacon, this is Johnny Deacon.
Johnny, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
Hi, Deacon. How are you, mate?
Congratulations, man. 11 weeks. Congratulations.
Yeah. I felt so grey and losing my hair before. Now it's even worse.
I was just about to comment on that, mate. You're losing your hair at an alarming rate.
Thanks, mate. At least I don't use a hat to cover it up.
He sussed me out.
Caught him out there. Caught him out.
Yeah. More hair on his chin than his head.
Turn my head upside down, mate.
There we are.
But how is Ireland obviously coping with all of this out there? Is it here with massive lockdown? There are
better than you are, to be honest. I think if I'm being fair, like Varadkar, the leader over here, he's been a bit more organised than Johnson, and obviously Dublin and Cork would be our two biggest cities compared to London, where Dublin's got the big hospitals. So where the bigger numbers are there, and that's because it's a bigger population and because the main hospital's there. Wicklow, where I am, we've got, I think, 80 odd cases, but it's rural. So people are actually doing as they're told. But I'm still working, obviously, as a nurse. I have to go in and do what I do, which is a little bit scary, but that's what I do. That's what it is. But for people in general, the safe distancing and all the rules around, what you can and what you can't do, people are adhering to it. And, in any place, there's always dickheads that break the rules and do stupid things. But here, people have been informed from day one and are doing, like the schools have been closed, I think 3 weeks now. All the pubs, restaurants were closed early. Whereas over there, Johnson.
Yeah, you did it before us, didn't you? You done that all before us. It was. Yeah. And
I think, obviously it's a smaller country, much smaller country, smaller population, but I think it's been much more organised. Yeah, like today, it jumped to, I think, about 400 cases from around 200 every day. Yeah. But that's what it is. But I think, again, the median age, they said, of people affected is 92. So it is the elderly population here that, again, because they're in hospitals, like Neve Mother, half her mum's in a nursing home and they're in lockdown, and they've taken it all seriously. They're doing it properly.
How is your wife's mum? I know we spoke offline regarding her. How is she at the moment?
Yeah, she's doing. She's being tested for it at the minute because she had a cough and a bit of a temperature. But that's nursing homes and general nurses for you, mate. They go over the top, don't they? Not like us proper nurses. But here we go. But that's you rather than be over cautious than a bit so what attitude, which I think seems to be over there.
It does.
London's got that intense population. I don't know how the hell you can keep that social distancing unless everything's closed down from day one. Whereas here we don't have that. But even Dublin, I was up there last week. Dublin is like a ghost town, but people are, that's what people have to do.
Yeah, you have to. Let's get back to the conversation of why we're all here and why we all met and why we're all friends and how we all got to know each other. I just got a few messages here from Simon. I definitely need to join the walk after lockdown. I agree. He's been promising me this for ages, Simon has. So Simon's time you got on a walk. And Ed's lovely reply. Superb. Well done, Ed. I think we all know Ed of a certain reason. Great guy, funny lad. And he's a big part of Walk and Talk. Johnny, do you want to explain to me as to why you joined Walk and Talk and how you got involved and why you do it? Let's go back a few years.
Jesus, I can't remember that far back. Well, it's because obviously, you can't have Fulham fans getting the better of you. That's the major reason. No, but seriously, like from when Lee challenged the Reading fans, now we leave, 3 and a bit years ago? Something wasn't it when you did the walk in August?
I think it was three and a bit years ago. Yeah.
And Lee challenged the Reading fans, obviously living over in Ireland. I could go over to a few games, but then I saw I was like, can't have a part of that. And obviously, the walk piece was a big part of it, but also the mental health side of things, as a nurse myself, but also all the stuff that I've gone through in my own mental health. It appealed to me. And I think, as football fans, the whole idea and what's been since, like that walk myself, Lee and Martin did. There was 3 of us walking from Reading to Fulham, and it was good. There was lots of positives, but I think then obviously Fulham decided to get relegated after blowing their budget in the Premier League, and then decided to walk with us again, which is good.
I think you sent me a message the minute we went down, didn't we? When we got relegated a year ago today at Watford, the walk I'd done. I think you sent me a message. I'll see you next season on a walk.
Exactly.
It was a kick in the nuts, if I'm honest.
But then it was down to, okay, let's see what lovely fixtures we get. Let's think of a nice warm walk in August let's get one middle of October and one on New Year's Eve. And as Lee will testify, the October one, there was so many young lads that wanted to join in. Joel, Charlie, Sam, which was quite humbling to see 18, 19-year-old lads wanting to do that for us old gits. Well, I'm older than you lot, but it was good. It was amazing, and like there was a group of people there that did that, and Dan and our action man Army Dan Mark II with his Jesus backpack, which still traumatized us.
Action Dan is just still baffles me as to why
he's still alive.
Yeah. It's just to give context to that story. He was we were walking we met up at the Chancellor's in Hammersmith in the pub. It's just cold October. I don't think it rained. Did it? I think
it did. It rained. It absolutely hammered it down because I met you on the train, didn't I?
Yes, that's right. Yes. Yeah, because you were on my train randomly.
Yeah, and then it absolutely pelted it down, didn't we? And then we were at the pub, and then the other lads joined us, and it rained, I think, for that first, probably about an hour, wasn't it? It was not great. And then as we were walking through London, it cleared up.
Yeah, I just remember it being a really good walk. I take the positives from Dan, Charlie, coincidentally, who was just an absolute trooper. It blows my mind. But back to Dan, it was just he's holding his bag. What did he do? 20 miles, and he says, "Look, can someone take my bag?" And I literally held it, and it was just like a dead weight. It was unbelievable. I've never carried something that was so heavy. I just thought, man, this is crazy, man. But fair play to him. He cracked on and done what he had to do, and I think doing this walk, you meet the most amazing people that want to do the most amazing thing and just want to stand and be accountable and honestly just look at things and go, right, we can do this, we can achieve this, and open up and talk about their stories, be that Chesterfield, be that Celtic. We've done the Celtic walk recently, obviously just before all this coronavirus kicked off, and then we were back down Dulwich for the Dulwich walk, which was good, and Ed deserves and James deserve a massive plaudits for that. They were absolutely superb in organising that, and likewise Aaron, who hopefully is coming into the conversation at some point. He sorted out obviously Celtic walks, and he's been superb. He's been amazing, and we're just trying to get the message out that you're not alone and understanding that, and trying to get to grips with things and meeting new people and opening up the conversation. Like I would never have met you two had this not kicked off and carried on and done something positive. I've taken a hell of a lot out of this for myself. I like seeing new people join. I like understanding that people ain't alone. Reaching out and understanding that there's someone there that you can talk to is the most poignant thing as far as I'm concerned. To me, the football is just something that happens at the end of it, at the end of the walk. It's not really a problem. It's not really the biggest thing, but the biggest thing is definitely taking stories from each and every one of the people that we talk to, people that we understand, people that we can reach out to and do further. And later on in life, we can just catch up with and basically phone them up whenever we want. I've had a lot of rapport with Deacon over the months, been out for a drink, like I said earlier, a good guy, a lovely guy. And it's just want to surround yourself with really honest, good people and people that want to push this agenda to make a difference to people's lives.
Absolutely.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Dimmick in the chat, thanks for popping by, man. I really appreciate it. Fantastic point as well in the regards to bringing young people and getting them involved. I think that's quite a big point as well. A lot of young people don't really realise, especially when you're a teenager, you feel invincible physically and mentally. You feel like, you're on top of the world. Your life's just about to get started, which it is. But you feel, because of that, you feel like not much can affect you, but it can be a slippery slope, as I said, physically and mentally. A lot of my underlying issues now, I'm 33, started when I was a teenager, and I never really rectified them or sorted them out. So whether it would be physically or mentally, make sure you're obviously looking after yourself. But the fact that young people wanting to get involved in something like this and taking it seriously, obviously, as I said, going for a walk and the added value of being able to stop at a few pubs, because we all love having a drink. Let's be honest. There's never a time when I can't watch a football game and not have at least 2 or 3 pints per 45 minutes. That's what Arsenal does to you. They stress you right out, and I'm sure you can both agree on Fulham and Reading. It's just the way it is. But the fact that young people are getting involved and wanting to get involved is a fantastic, but it says a lot about what Walk and Talk is and what it's about, and the fact that it isn't caught up in old-fashioned values. It's appealing to the younger audience as well as the older audience as well.
Yeah, there's no age group really. Like Johnny said, seeing the youngsters come out and make a difference is really. I think both me and Johnny looked at it and went, fair play. And I think me and you had a few conversations on that walk about it and going. I think we put our arms around each other and went, mate, that's amazing. These youngsters.
I think the biggest one, Lee, as well, is Jamie, wasn't it? On the one on New Year's Eve, young lad with cerebral palsy to walk. Oh, geez, how many did he walk? 25 miles? I
think he turned to 30. I think it was 30.
Yeah,
it was.
And like you, it was an unbelievable effort. Like, he's a lovely lad as well, but for him to make that commitment and to keep going, it's us that had to tell him to stop, because we had to make sure he got to the game and enjoyed us smashing Fulham, but that's another story. But he did, and he's a lovely lad, and his brother, and that's the people that join in that want to be part of something that makes a difference, and that's huge. And it is like, for myself, I'm 48, like for me it's the next generation. It's all about, like, my little girl's 8. It's the next generation that we need to inspire to make mental health and illness normal conversation. And if those youngsters join in the walks, those youngsters make those conversations the next thing, as a day to day. That's what it's all about. It's breaking that stigma, and it is huge. And as football fans, we can do that. As men, we can do that. As women, it doesn't matter. It's about people making a stand. And I think walking through the night, I've done the 3 Fulham walks, and when you're walking at 3 o'clock in the morning, you're knackered and you haven't slept, that's just an indication of what it's like to have a mental health problem and you're struggling. And that's the time when people struggle, and I think that's why people identify with it.
I think what you said is spot on. To me, I always find this, it's like a life in a walk. Basically, your life in a walk. You're excited. You see how excited people get during the start of the walks, and the excitement. There's a new challenge. Everybody's buzzing. It's just great. And then all of a sudden, it gets to the early hours of the morning, and people start struggling. They should be in bed. Their body's telling them they should be in bed. But then that's where you come in and put your arm around them and just like, we could do this together, man. We could do this. Talk to me. And before you know it, there's a great guy, Kevin, Celtic supporter. We've done the recent walk. It summed it up basically. He was exactly the same, buzzing, but then he started to struggle part way through it. I think we had about 3 miles to go, which is about an hour of walking. He was struggling, but I was determined to get him across that line. And we just spoke about everything, his job. It was just one of the nicest guys ever. And he achieved it, and he broke down and was crying. And I just looked at him and I just thought, from something that's come from me going on a walk to Reading to literally open up this massive conversation that needs to be had, it really hit me. And just, I started to cry. I was upset, and it just has such an impact on so many people's lives. I'm missing it hugely at the moment, missing not only the football, but missing the walking, the camaraderie, the togetherness, the understanding that you can have someone else there to talk. At the moment, the total isolation, there's not leaving the 4 walls. It is doing my head in. Don't know how you lot are coping with it, if I'm honest, or if you've got anything you can. I think I've pulled out every football shirt I own. I think I've folded it. I've showed Deacon the shirt that I was going to wear today, but I'm not going to do
classic.
And I'm just really struggling to find what to do, where to go, and
again, it's the same. Sorry, Lee, it's the same thing though. I mean, I think this, this side, we are now doing what a lot of people with mental health problems have to do. or are doing. They're isolated, and now this is enforced isolation, and this is what people are going through 24/7 when they're struggling. And it's like, this is really going to make people's mental health a lot worse. People that already had mental health issues are going to get worse. People that have never had a mental health problem are now going to get this because of all the knock-on effects of loss of job, being isolated, not being able to have their normal things like football's our go-to thing, having your friends, going around your mates, doing all that stuff. And it's not by choice. You've had it taken away from you, because if you do it, you could die. That's basically, that's the realistic part of it. It's surreal. It feels like Shaun of the Dead every day. To be honest, it kind of, luckily I'm still working, or not luckily, because you're kind of worried then about what the impacts of that are. But at least it gives me, it comes with a, danger sign, but at least I can get out and have that. And, it's something. But for a lot of people, they don't even have that.
It is true. We were talking before you come on about the community and everything. I think growing up in a council estate in central London, I think we had the best community ever. Anybody would do anything for anybody. And I think as time's gone on, I think we've lost that. But now I'm seeing so many good deeds, which to me just makes such a difference. Look out for each other, man.
What was it again? I think there was I can't remember how many volunteers. I think was it like 400,000 in 24
I think it was
hours?
500,000.
Yeah. In 24 hours,
wonderful.
volunteers wanted to just get involved, and obviously being not necessarily the front line, but being quite close up and personal to problems that could arise by bringing something home if you're not careful. So it can be quite dangerous, but that was quite heartwarming. The clap for the NHS, that was pretty freaking awesome as well. But unfortunately, the media aren't talking about that enough for me.
Yeah,
I feel it's there. The problem is we've put the media on a pedestal, and they take advantage sometimes for hits and clicks for their website, like we were discussing. I feel like media needs to be talking more about the recovery rates, the survival rates, the more positive stories, the people on the brink of breaking down but pushing through due to support via family, friends, or now the government's now supporting the idea of playing video games as a form of as escapism, which I've always supported. But 6 months ago they were saying video games were bad for people. So it's a little bit frustrating, a little bit hypocritical, but I'm glad that obviously they're seeing the light. It's annoying that it's had to go to this length, these lengths around the world. Obviously, this is not just a UK or an Ireland thing. This is an entire world problem. But it's annoying that we've got to this stage where we actually start thinking retrospectively, oh, okay, maybe it's not as bad as what they're saying it is. Actually, this is a really good form of being able to cope as a coping mechanism. I think video games saved my life. I wouldn't be here if I wasn't playing video games. I remember Assassin's Creed 2 on the Xbox. I played it when I was early 20s because I was on the verge of not being here anymore. But that kept me here, and my love of that particular genre of game and whatever. And my missus, she's not doing well at the moment. She's got her own problems at the moment, and this is exacerbating it as well as mine. My underlying issues, whatever, but she's really struggling at the moment. She requires some quite severe surgery, but obviously this has all been put on hold because of the massive issue that's going around at the moment. She bought herself a Switch last week. She's been playing Animal Crossing non-stop, but it's great because I'm seeing her smile, and that she's got her own business, so she works from home. So, she's actually coming away from that and actually spending time and playing a video game that she's just walking around shaking trees and collecting berries, but that's what she loves and that's what she's enjoying, and I'm so happy to see a smile on her face. And that's what video games can do. They can give you a form of escapism and save some people's lives. It's just, as I said, it's just annoying that we've had to get to the stage that we are for you people to see that.
Yeah, I agree. I just think I like seeing the let's just put Ed's comment up there because I remember that game. I'm not a computer person, but I like that game. That was me and my brother used to play that a hell of a lot. I just like literally just believe that the community. I like seeing the community come out and help each other. Let's be fair, we don't really know our next door neighbours, but yet we're willing to help them. Which is, we've got Johnny's gone.
That's right. Yeah, he's probably been called away.
Yeah, I think so. I don't. I've just want to see if anybody else is going to come on. But let's get back to the walk and talk. What it is, why we do it. It's just simple, we've got something very special coming up. Me and Julian have been working on something very special. We're hopefully going to get this out by the end of next week. Can't say too much, but it's going to explain a lot. And then hopefully we'll have a football season or inkling as to when the football season is going to come out. But it's going to be big. So we're looking forward to it. We're carrying on doing what we're doing. Obviously, with self-isolation, there's not much we can do in the sense of walking and talking. But we're going to host something like this once a week.
I think this needs to be a thing. I think especially in the age that we are in now, with the fact that we're in self-isolation, it can be quite difficult to be stuck on your own. Maybe in a household with certain people. So sometimes people are getting stuck with people they don't necessarily want to be stuck with, and they've got no choice with it. So we've got to remember that. So yeah, I think this is definitely a thing that we need to be even just having a topic to talk about each week. We can obviously discuss it off live or whatever. But I think this is definitely a thing we should do, just as an outlet, just to say that we're still here. Even though the football season is postponed for the moment. Speaking of football seasons, I know that Belgium have apparently just basically given the title to Club Brugge. There were 15 points on the top of the table, and they've just. So I'm worried that that's probably going to maybe set a trend and just give Liverpool the title, even though they pretty much
they
don't
need it, man.
Do you know what I mean? They don't need it. It's fine. They won the Champions League last season. It's absolutely fine. Simon just put into the chat. Have you guys seen the groups for people randomly giving stuff from Amazon wishlist for kids stuck at home, gifting to total strangers for the joy of giving a smile? This is exactly what I am talking about when it comes to the media. Yep. This is the stories that need to be pushed, because we don't know where the light is at the end of the tunnel. The reason why tunnels are never straight, especially in London, the reason why they've got bends in them is because if a horse sees at the end of a tunnel, they bolt. So that's the reason why they've got curves in them and stuff like that. But we don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. We need some form of a positivity, exactly like this story. And this is just one incident. There's going to be multiple. There's going to be more positives than there are negatives. It's just, unfortunately, people are morbid and they like hearing the negative stuff because it draws more attention. But I think if you give humans the chance to be able to choose a positive story, I think they would more likely choose it, especially in.
Yeah, definitely. I think with this channel, I think over however long this is going to take, once a week, we'll do this and we'll put a massive positivity out there. There are people suffering out there. There are people that are alone, like you said. There are people that are struggling massively, and just come in, have a chat, come talk, and just generally see that. Talking is probably the best thing we can do. I've been pacing up and down in the flat. I just ain't stopped walking. It's just, I think I'm gonna have to do.
You've already done your one walk a day, have you?
Yeah, 22 miles. Just keep pacing up and down. I saw a geezer on the television the other day run the marathon in his back garden. I thought that's quite interesting.
That's one of the stories that could be used, because that's hilarious. That is absolutely absurd, but all funny at the same time. Who does that? Who would do that? 6 months ago, you'd go, I think we need to go to the guys around that guy's house. He's not doing okay. But we understand in context why, and it only works now. So use the story now and make people laugh.
Exactly. Let's over the next week. Let's pull out some positive stories. If anybody watching this comes out with some positive stories, ping it over to our Twitter.
2 or 3 positive stories from everybody,
and let's cover it
each. You know what I mean? I think we could talk about some really positive stuff, and actually, and as I said, I'm not a fan of the media personally, and just objectively overall. I've had some run-ins with them, and I'm not big fans of them on the best of times. So I think that would be a great idea.
Let's do that. Let's put positive stories out there. So, like I said, if anybody's got any positive stories, link us into it. We'll put it down and we'll talk about it. If we say next Wednesday at 7:00, every Wednesday at 7:00, we're going to be live talking. Get involved, talk to us, let's just have a positive spin instead of all negative. Let's do something positive. Let's create something. Let's keep going what we created. Everybody's part of this, Everybody's put a lot of effort and a lot of work into the Walk and Talk movement, should we say? So let's keep it going. Because we can't walk. Let's just talk. Let's talk instead. Let's keep it going. Let's have different. Next Wednesday, let's all wear a random football shirt, your favourite football shirt.
Good shout. I like that. That's a good shout. I've got a few.
And just let's just talk. Let's just talk about ourselves. Well, not ourselves, but like we normally do on a Walk and Talk. Just talk and let's open up the conversation and let's keep morale up and people's spirits up. I still don't think Liverpool should win the league, but my local team here, Haywards Heath, the league, the Isthmian League that they're in is now closed. So there's no more football for the foreseeable future. Hopefully in August we can get back and play football there. It's a lovely town and a lovely football club, and a club that we've got a big link with, and that will be explained very, very soon. But in the meantime, I think 35 minutes has been good. I think been good catching up with Johnny. It's been good catching up with Deacon. I think talk anyone, Ed. I think that's
talk and talk. That's the way to go. That could be, for now, that can be what it's all about.
I like that.
Talk. We've done the walking. Let's do the talking now, especially, in what's going on now. I think that's a great idea. Absolutely fantastic idea. But yeah, positive stories, guys. Let's see if we can get some positive stories, bring them to the table for next week. And then we can, have a discussion about all the positives that are going on in the world right now. It doesn't have to be in the UK. Obviously, that would be great because we can relate to it a little bit more. But around the world, I don't care where it is. Positive stories from wherever we need it. We need it because this self-isolation thing, it is highlighting the problems. If you have bad mental health, people with good mental health are actually going, oh, this is what it's like when you have bad mental health, right? I feel very isolated. I feel very alone, and I've got loads of friends. I've got 1,000 friends on Facebook or whatever. For a fact that once you get to a certain age, you start counting your best friends, the ones that you talk to, and not necessarily even talk to about personal stuff. Maybe you've got one or two, but you can count them on one hand easily. And I've been able to do that for years, years. And that's not a problem. I would rather have a few very good close friends than 100 acquaintances. 100%.
Definitely. I think what we created in this movement is something that is unique. People coming together, like you touched on earlier. People talking about football violence and so forth, and the negativity around. Hello, Johnny, he's back again.
Hey,
how are you?
My little girl, she's got an allergy to Arsenal and Fulham fans, so it's funny she gets a bit.
I get that. I understand.
She's running around in her little Swift shirt.
That's why I take antihistamines every day.
I know. No, sorry about that. She's just gets a little bit unsettled at times,
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. I'll buy her a Sonny Aluko shirt. Don't worry about that. Best striker for Reading ever.
Yeah. She's
thanks for the money, mate. Yes.
I think that's what she thinks of it.
That's all good. We were just saying when you were offline, we were asking people to come in to send positive stories. We're going to make this once a week, every Wednesday, where we're going to talk about positive stories. Obviously, we can't walk and talk. So we can't walk and talk. So we're just going to talk, as Ed stated.
It's a good one, Ed. It's a good one.
Every Wednesday at 7:00. Positive story.
Can I say something too late? It's Thursday.
Yeah, I know, but we're going to make it midweek.
Okay, just checking, mate, because I know you're having a funny time zone, your side of the world.
Saying that because of this self-isolation thing, that is definitely one of the problems. I'm losing track of days. I will completely admit that I thought it was Wednesday today. I'll completely admit that. I'm fine with it. I'm accepting it. It's fine. Absolutely fine. Hi, Reg. What's going on? Reg and Sean. Hello. Welcome, guys. Hello.
Sean. So, yes, Sean's another one that walked with us. He done the the Reading one, didn't he? And he done the Chesterfield, another great guy who will probably be involved next week. We're just going to mix it up, get loads of different people in, and talk about why we do it, what we do it, and kind of just let's bring some laughter to people, man.
Yeah, we need it.
We all need it, you know.
We lost Eddie Large today. That's horrendous.
What's that?
Eddie Large died today from the virus.
Yes, I see that. That was, yeah. I vaguely remember him. I'm not as old as you.
Bloody youngsters.
I had to get that one.
Oh yeah, whatever.
But there's
in the wall.
Sid Little actually works as a chef in the Strawberry Gardens in Fleetwood, which is right next door to my nan's house. And I remember bumping into him, going, "I know that face. And Dad was like, "It's just funny. It's funny." But yes, let's wrap this up. I think 40 minutes is a lot. Let's come back to next week and let's put some joy to people. It's the first test start. Quite happy, and let's keep talking, and obviously not walking, but let's keep talking and putting positive things out there. Look after each other, everybody, man. You know, it's a big thing. Get involved in the community if you can, and just look out for each other. You know, it's a challenging time for everybody at the moment, and thank you to Johnny for all the work he does as well. You know,
we're all in it together, lads. I think this is this is an opportunity for people that are feeling isolated to come and join and have a chat, because I think people are in the same boat, and it's safe. It's have a laugh about football, have a laugh about other things. But there's obviously a serious message behind that. But I think it's a good place because we all know each other, and that's something that if you can keep, like you say, every week, people, dip in and out, and obviously, baby friendly times when I may not be able to join you. But it's good, isn't it? It keeps the conversation going. Yeah, we can't walk and talk, which is something we all enjoy doing. So that's a different challenge. So now we have to talk to each other. I could just walk away from you on the walk. Now I'm stuck again.
So yeah.
Before we finish though, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you like the video. It'd really help us out. And you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and make sure you follow Walk and Talk on Twitter as well. I don't think you've got the link down below, but it's just at Walk and not the symbol, the letters, and Talk MMH, Mike Hotel. So make sure you hit us up with a follow, and by all means tweet us. So if you have any positive stories, we've got them all ready to go for Wednesday's Talk and Talk.
Talk and Talk.
Talk.
There we go. So till next time, boys. Thank you as always, Johnny. Thank you for the work you do within your National Health Service.
Yes,
you're a good guy. Sending you and your family all the best, mate. Keep safe.
Thank you, guys.
Keep safe, mate.
Yeah, do that. 100%.
Keep safe, mate. We all love you. Thank you big time for all you do, mate. All right? You've been amazing.
Stay safe, yeah?
Thank you. Be good, everybody. Keep smiling. Keep helping each other. And see you next Wednesday. And let's put a little bit of spin on this. Let's have a laugh. Let's have a giggle. Let's turn it up a little bit and bring joy and
Lady in Red,
people.
Lee, come on. We've got to do Lady in Red from before we go. Come on. I've had to listen to it.
I've had Sean messaging me, telling me to do it.
Come on. Don't go shy now.
I'll do it next week.
How about
that? I'll do it next week.
I want to see an outfit.
Yeah, red dress.
Yeah,
red dress.
This is getting a little bit extreme, boys.
Red dress and clean shave.
You said it yourself, we need a laugh. So
I might just have to do it. Just for the giggles. Let's do it.
You are, mate. We'll guarantee you will. Or we'll track you down.
I'll do it. No problem. But yes, let's all catch up next week. Let's do something positive. Let's put a spin on this and make people think of something happy and be good. Okay. Till next time. Thank you, everybody. You've been amazing, Deacon. Thank you, as always, Johnny. You're a star.
Good to meet you, Deacon.
Take care, Johnny.
Stay safe. Take care, guys.
Be good, everybody. I'll see you later.
Have a good week.
Be good, mate. Thank you. Cheers. Bye. That's Johnny gone, and that's us signing off. Deacon, much appreciated, mate. As always,
no problem, man. It's a pleasure to get involved. As I said, I love what you do. the moment I saw it, I had to get involved. And as I said, obviously we had a conversation. We met up in a pub shortly after that walk that I did with Crystal Palace, and I put it across that I need to be involved in some capacity. So to be involved in this is fantastic. So hopefully we can make a thing of it.
Yes, we will. We will. We'll do it every Wednesday at 7 o'clock.
Talk
Boom.
and talk. There you go.
Thank you for that, Ed. Thank you for that, Ed.
Yeah. Sorry, mate. Ed, no royalties. No royalties. It's done.
Be good, everyone. Keep smiling. Keep helping each other out, and keep safe. Yep. Thank you again, Deacon.
No worries. Take care, guys.
Everyone.
See you later.